Welcome to a bit of a special video, since I've never really done live videos before. Recently I received the Stardew Valley board game, and so I wanted to show it off, but first a couple of notes. One, I've never done an unboxing. Two, I've never really watched unboxings, so keep that in mind. Also, this is the second print of the game. They did a first version, and after that they took a bunch of feedback and reprinted this guy. So it's gonna have some of the changes from the first version of the game. And finally, I am using my iPhone with the worst setup possible. Let's just say a paint can is holding this all together. I'm also using mostly natural light, and it's a bit of a cloudy day, so lighting might change. Apologies. Also, yes, I'm in my PJs. First off, this is a very heavy box. There's a lot of stuff in here. So here's the back. You can see there's foraging, fishing, exploring, talking to people, planting crops. So it is literally supposed to be like a day in Stardew. It's up to 1 to 4 players. I really love that this is something you could play by yourself. And they predict about 45 minutes per person. So it could be quite a lengthy game. All right. So here's what we have on the inside. So here we have the instructions, which is 23 pages long. The principle is very simple, but the how you actually play it is complex. Like, you just have 3 stages, but what you can do in the 3rd stage is what is the most complex part of the game. This is an example of a layout, so you'll probably need a lot of space for it. The goals, bundles, instructions. Like, this is detailing the stages. These are the actions you can take, and these are going to be the details about what you do in those actions. There's even like exploring the mine, fishing. Season, this is what marks the time for the game. It ends in a year. So they have like a deck of season cards, and there's a lot of ways to adjust the game. For example, there's like a normal season, but you can also mix in special season cards. There's Joja tiles. Here's all the instructions on how you can like adjust the game to fit you. So you can make it easier or harder. You could change how long it takes, how to play on your own. And then we have a quick rule reference. And then a reference sheet for all the symbols. Here we have strategy, and then the new tray. I think this is something that they've recently, this is part of what's new to the 2nd version of the game. It's this new tray for holding stuff, which is much appreciated, I'm sure. I haven't gotten to play it yet, but. So here's some of the tiles that you can get. And most of them have stuff on the back as well. And they're very satisfying. They're quite thick, they're sturdy. So I'm pretty happy with those. So buildings, Joja. We may have a visitor in the camera soon, we'll see. Currently she's sitting in the lid of the box. So then we've got our creatures, more Joja stuff. And some blank ones, it looks like. They're so cute. These are player mats, coins, hearts, and then the pet token right here, which kind of denotes who's like the, kind of like the primary farm owner if you're in game. That's what that token, but it actually moves around. So we have, for the player mats, fishing, farming, foraging, and mining. And we've got more money. Oh, we've got like minerals, as well as, what are they called in the game? But stuff you donate to the museum, right here. And then we have resources. which there is a lot of. And then I believe for like the rabbit's foot, if you like turn it over, there's supposed to be like quality version of it. Here's some more of them. These are like the fruits and veggies. Ooh, we've got forageable stuff. We've got the worms, and it says whether it's you're getting a mineral or like a thing to donate. And then we've got, ooh, then we have the geodes, which you can crack open, and then on the back it's what you receive from the geode, which I love. Here we've got some of the fishing, some of the foraging stuff. So you can see trees to provide you with wood and everything. Ooh, bug meat from fighting monsters. There's all the fishing stuff. We've even got junk that you can get from it and treasures. All right, so those are the tiles. Here is what holds these, I think. Like maybe the crops and stuff. So it's just like a little tile, plastic tile tray. Sorry about stuff that keeps getting cut off on the side of the screen. Part of my setup that I'll be cutting off on this side is the legs of a TV tray. So here's the board. I'll get some nice like close-ups in a little bit and show those off, but that's the board. And then this is the new storage tray that they include. We've got Cyriel. Could you not? Or at least come into frame. There you go. You can't sit in that. All right, we'll just keep with her, going with her there. So we've got 2 bags. This one you put the fish in, and this one you'll be putting like the geodes and stuff in. Not the geode, like minerals and stuff. And then we've got these. Oh, due to a printing error, 2 season cards were printed incorrectly. The updated cards can be found in this pack. See the back of this card for details. So when I purchased this in like November, and they originally thought it might get here in time for Christmas, but because of this printing error, they did not obviously get it there in time, because now it is January, I think, still. So this is what the printing error was. So the first one says, any player may discard crops from inventory. For each group crop discarded, they gain a friend. The new version is each player may discard 1 crop, fish, or forageable to gain a heart token. And then this one was starting player rolls a dice. If starfruit, then they complete a bundle, but now it's if they find a Junimo, they complete a bundle. So it looks like these are the 2 new printed ones. They have these seasonal backs. So I think they belong in this deck, but they just put it in this one when they reprinted it. So we'll have to see, but I may need to get rid of the old one from here. Now we have the characters in the game. I love the art of this. Oh man, there are so many characters in the game, you don't even think about it. So yeah, so this is everybody in the game. And then these have to do with the mines. Oh, these are the, so these are like the mine levels. So first one, this is what you gain. Nothing happens. So here you can see through all the way down to good old level 12. Then these, I believe, are your grandpa's goals, and depending on number of players and your decisions, you have to complete a certain number of these. I think this is another, yeah, this is another one of these. And then this marks the end of seasons, because the seasons are what dictate the length of your game. The Egg Festival. So here we can see on the back it shows which season. You don't use all of these. It depends on how you want to play the game. There's like There's these standard cards. So if you don't want to like have extra difficulty or something, you play with just these standard cards. But if you want a potential more difficult, you use some of these other ones as well. Oh, so we do have the old ones. So here's the old version, and this is the new one. So we need to get rid of the old ones here. So I'll have to do that in a little bit. Look at the flower dance. I've got the luau and the moon jellies. Festival of Ice, Night Market, and the Feast of the Winter Star. Here I believe are the player tokens. And then we also have the dice. I think you use these, like roll 2 of them to decide what you get out of mines and stuff like that. Right, here's another deck of cards. Spring Forage. I think these are events. Ooh, or maybe they're related to the community center. Oh, we've got tools. Oh, how fancy. And I think you have the levels here maybe. I've read half the instructions, so we've gotten into the territory where I haven't read about yet. Train is passing through. Ah, so here are event cards. Bear's Knowledge. Then we've got the Mermaid Pendant, the Gold Clock, the Junimos, Greenhouse, Epic Items. We've got, oh, this guy's out of order. We've got Mine Events, the Dwarf, Friendship for more Mine Events. Okay, and then the last deck, we've got normal items, which are like bait and beer or milk pail. And then we have profession upgrades, so like mining, which are like these. Ooh, there's 2 per card. You can learn the snack recipe. Got like the mayo machine, dish of the sea, the bee house. I'm going to take all these out and then put them into the storage tray. They have like instructions right here. So I'm going to try putting it away like that. What's a video game without a couple of bugs? One of my animal tokens came apart. Clearly these are like 2 pieces of cardboard stuck together, but the glue didn't work on this one, so I'll have to do something about that myself. So much later, as you may be able to tell from the lighting, apologies, also because the camera changed. I did record this already, but then the phone didn't record it, so. Anyway, so much later I have gotten this organized. This is based on the instructions, so this guy, except I've changed it so that these are here instead of in this pool. In the thing they sent, it says to have these split up between the 3, but I think I'd rather have the tokens and dice separate from all of this right here. And then this is actually organized based on the instruction manual. So here I have this separated like this. So then I would put that guy in. And then next I would put away the board right there. So I would get these guys in. And then we also have these bags. So this one is full of the fishing fish, treasure, and trash. And then this one is full of the minerals and artifacts, if I would remember what those are called. And then I would put in the player tiles. And that is it for the tour of the board game. My sister is coming over tomorrow, so the 3 of us are going to be playing this, and if I think of anything to add after playing it, I will add a video here. Alright, so I have now played the game twice with 2 other people, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But there were a couple of things that were a little odd, and there were a couple of like house rules we ended up wanting to add. So the first one we played with the standard deck, and we managed to beat the game like a day or two before the end of the year. And then the second time we played with a random deck, and oh boy, that was hard. We finished the last day with one person's turn left, and the saving grace was Mayor Lewis's shorts. So thank God he left his underwear somewhere, because it ended up saving us, because we could use the shorts in one of the bundles to complete it. But in that game, we were sure we were going to lose up until winter, because up until winter, I think we had maybe one thing submitted to a bundle, and that was kind of it. We had no money, no hearts, nothing. And then the last like 4 days, we did everything and beat the game. So that was crazy. Some of the things we found odd. One was friendship. The whole birthday thing, like the chances of drawing someone during their birthday season and then gifting to them, it just felt kind of unlikely. Out of the games, I think we had that happen once. So we considered a house rule where you could go to the bar, spend an action, and like gift to one of your friends if you wanted to trigger that, or like you could do it on their birthday month. We're not sure, but it feels like you should be able to interact with your friends again after you've earned them. I think because for the rules, it's basically you gain a friend and then that's it. You don't really interact with them again after that, except for on days where you can choose one of your friends to gain a gift from. But that's pretty much it. So we thought that was a bit odd. A house rule that we're definitely doing is the ability to go and forage. So normally what you do is you can only pick up forage when you travel from one location to another. But when it came to getting trees, it felt like we were kind of wasting time, because like they're all in one spot of the board, and unless you want to fish and then water, or buy an animal and then fish, like there was just a lot of times where it was like the only thing we could do would be basically go to a location just for the sake of foraging. So what we decided was you have to start in like one of the areas adjacent, and then when you move, you can take your second action to harvest an additional forageable item. So that's probably a house rule we'll end up keeping. So yeah, that was our thoughts on the game. I'm going to try playing it single player now and see how that goes. So I just played a single player version of the game, and I did not win. I feel like I kind of got close, but also not close at all. So it came down to, I got 3 of these. The one I didn't finish is the mines, and I didn't even get close. But I have the gold. I've donated to the museum, and I've upgraded my starting tools twice. Ended up with 2 friends. I've got all but one of these done, but I only think I got 2 minerals the entire game, both of which are here. So I didn't get that last one. Only got 2 geodes, but you know what I did get a lot of? Joja stuff. So I played with the random deck instead of the standard deck. And I got, I think there's 6 Joja tiles on the board, plus a 7th that I actually removed. There was one day where literally the only thing that happened was I got 2 Joja tiles, so that was not ideal. I did go through a lot of events and items. I wasn't able to I went and tried to get friends 4 times, only got 2 of them. Oh, another thing I didn't mention was when I showed off the first part where I did like a bit of a tour of the original setup, I forgot to say that this is also on the side. So it does take a lot of space to do these, and it feels like a lot of setup for a single player, but kind of once you have this, it'd be pretty easy to reset and play again. It was maybe like an hour most, so it was interesting. It's nice to have the option to play this single player, but I would probably add maybe some time to the deck or expose some of the bundles at the start. I don't know, it was quite difficult, especially because when I originally pulled these, the first one of the other cards was to catch a legendary fish. So I don't know how you'd get to level 12 in the mines and catch a legendary fish, because in the 3 games that I've played, I've seen a legendary fish once. So to fish enough to get that and to finish the mines, I don't think would be possible within the normal time frame on your own. So yeah, I would say that like you might need to add more time, maybe play with the standard deck, something. But yes, Joja won, unfortunately, by a lot. I mean, look how much they're on the board. Dang it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.